breakfast. However, people are fleeing New York City. So going to Sinatra's point, I remember someone compared using the dude, calling a woman the word dude to using the N word. Misattracted. dumb woman. Hey, isn't it sexist to call women dumb? Alright, I'm at the 21-minute mark. Oops. 21 minutes. Joe, you don't be careful. God, I wanna say Sinatra and Euphoria sound similar. I don't know, the voice accent, for lack of a better term. Hit that like button, guys. I love how I got him being a teacher. Yeah, but what takes Elizabeth Warren? It's weird hearing him and Sinatra argue. Oh, he's a history teacher? I'm at the 32-minute mark, by the way. The Yuffie, oh, like, extract. Oh my god, I didn't even think to do the bingo card. Oh, Heizawa. How do you feel about the debate? Extrapolate, extrapolate. That's fair. What one anon said. Nursing home Cuomo. Oh my god, that's just awful. Who's DeSantis? Sorry, I'm dumber than you probably, Zelble. Didn't mean to call you dumb. I was just reflecting on this one comment. Sorry. 41 minutes. Actually, 43. Cuomo should be in jail. Oh, I feel a bit better now. Thanks. Whistleblowers. Um, I don't even know what's a circle. I should have done this a lot sooner. I'm about to circle some squares. Coroner. A link to his claim. But only right-wingers can be conspiracy theorists. It's from a source familiar with the matter. What? I'm watching a stream. Isn't Anonymous basically Blue Anon? Being citizens of the United States. That's much for Anonymous. The Minneapolis Police Department. Trying not to be awkward, I'm just listening to the stream. I linked it up earlier. I can link it again if you need me to. Right now, I'm trying to figure out where the donkey comment would be under. I don't know if that's microaggression or if that would be white supremacy or scribes bingo. At the 54-minute mark to those keeping up. I'm doing it the same style as Monkey did when he streamed the presidential debates as Lords of the Night. Well, I mean, it's not like Monkey's copyrighted or anything. Unless I do this. Oh, wait. Yeah, this should work.
At least HIPAA, so yeah, it'll be interesting whether she was or not, because it's like, yeah,
let me throw something real quick.
Yes.
The news media that I read the most is CNN. Second most is probably the Washington Post. Third most, probably the New York Times.
Okay.
Those are the sources I read. I had no idea about this DeSantis thing that you're up in arms about. So with you making this jump, because I didn't see this on there, with you making this jump that it's obviously me being some kind of partisan, did you make a mistake?
Well, usually the Washington Post, I'm pretty sure they would have covered this. The Times wouldn't. Their investigative journalist department runs differently. The Post does a lot more
investigative
boosting
journalism
of it. Well, that's what the Washington Post is known for. They're known for their investigative journalist department, which, yeah, you can. It's being run by Bob Woodward, and he sat on a book with Trump where Trump told him that he lied, and then he didn't release the information until his book was going to be published.
You do know that if the Washington Post covered it, CNN, MSNBC, the New York Times, all of them repeatedly have used the Washington Post as a source, right?
Yes. But
so why wouldn't the New York Times cover it if it came out in the Post?
Because at this time,
this seems like it would be a huge deal.
Well, like I said, I
just want to put it out there right now. I am 100% the validity of everything you have said. I have only seen it from one source, and
I should be able to look it up and find it in all these big sources.
Well, the fact that the New York boosted it, and like I said, if the Washington Post didn't, I would be a little surprised. But the shows I watch, like Majority Report, would cover this. So I'd have to check to see if the Majority Report.
I think we just need to admit you just made this up the spot, or maybe read it in some tabloid somewhere.
No, actually,
what tabloid do I read? I don't read tabloids.
I want to be fair then, because he said the sources that I watch. What news sources do you watch? But before you answer, thank you. I Feel Dumber, who says, "Holy ass fuckery, Batman! This cunt is a teacher." What news? Where do you get your news sources? What do you watch?
What I watch versus what I read. So what I watch is usually my secondary stuff after I get done with my more reading. Daily show watch is the Majority Report. And Democracy. So I watch Democracy Now! And Majority Report every episode, 90% of episodes during the week. Then after that.
Wait, time out. You bitch that I'm partisan and your main source is Sam Cedar.
Yeah, right.
You
think he likes Pelosi? If you think he's a Pelosi,
oh my God, the left and woke
care
Twitter
so much about your actions. Well, you feel you like Monk. A resolute germ, thank you. You're great at homeschooling. And Snub, thank you. Scribe is trying to get your attention. So you purposefully watch. Are you going to suggest that Sam C. Like horrifically biased?
Of course, he's biased on which top covers. Of course.
Do you ever bitch Cedar for not covering stuff that you want him to?
If I think there's something, yes, I will definitely. I've called into the show several times. He had on I remember he had on the Democratic the president of the Wisconsin chapter of the DNC, and I disliked the guy. Sam Cedar was buds with him back when they were podcasting together, and so it was a fluff interview and didn't highlight all of the horrible shit that he has let slide in the state and how poor his marketing to small communities, especially to farming communities. He ignored the lucky union class. Pretty much he focused only on fundraising, which that's why I think he was voted. He sits in Madison, and he targeted the affluent Western Milwaukee suburbs. That's all he did, and that's all he does. And so, yeah, I called and let him know that. That's just one example of him doing a very fluff interview.
What was his
somebody who shouldn't have
wait. That's not because it was partisan. That was because you thought he was friends with the guy.
Well, he was friends with the guy, but it was partisan.
Okay, so when
it's part of the fact where
being partisan.
Hey, Paulie's in chat.
I mean, like you said, it depends what you mean by partisan.
Well, the way you consider me partisan for not going after things you think I should,
and the way he classifies someone.
Yeah, I do think that you are more pro. I get that.
I'm asking you about Cedar.
Sam Cedar is Democratic Party.
I'm sorry. What?
Well, if you can find one thing that Sam Cedars ever said positive about Pelosi in the last 10 years, I would love you to put up that video.
So all I got to do is say something always negative about somebody in Congress?
I was just about
Criticize,
to ask that.
yeah, what the Republican
Twitter
Party is doing. Whether it's
I have
leadership,
literally gone on loud, profane rants about the Republican Party in Congress.
Which members
Mitch
do you
McConnell.
attack?
Specifically, what attack? I've attacked McConnell. I've gone
for doing what?
For the Supreme Court thing. I've gone after him for what he pulled with Garland.
Okay. While back, but sure.
Well, I mean, you asked what he did, and he told you.
Oh no,
it's
no,
not enough. It's never enough for the guy.
No, I'm saying that's fine. That means you definitely have more integrity than Lindsey Graham by a million miles. So
gone after Lindsey Graham before too. I've been doing that since way back in the 90s. Thank you, Kevin Sarvold. Cuomo infected people. DeSantis only stated no state did mask, leaving it to the county health board to make that decision. How is that equal?
You're not mad at DeSantis for covering up shit. You're mad at him for not following the dictated mandate from these people. No place to give anybody a mandate. Just say that. You're not mad at him for killing old people. You're mad at him for disobeying.
Why would I not?
Subbar brings up that I've gone after Romney. I've gone after Cruz. I've gone after all kinds of Republicans.
But the fact that I don't see it in your Twitter.
No, I want to point this out to you because this is important and it's something you can listen to. The fact that I take each individual case and don't just hate each individual person. I've even stood up for AOC before. That makes me far less partisan than Sam, who just hates Pelosi because she's not left enough for him. Well, you get that, right? You get that his is more politically motivated based on just being far left, where mine is more based on the principles that I hold.
Well, no, that I hold all to them. That his principles are left. It's just you don't have a name for your set of principles. He can loosely call them the left, even though there's.
But you literally just said I was more Republican than he is Democrat. Thank you, Lysol, who says taxes suck and haters of Monkey are fun. They really are. I enjoy these kind of things. I don't like doing them very often because they're pointless, but.
Well, I don't think it's pointless if we were coming into like a specific issue where I would have all the.
Here's the problem. You have been so disingenuous to the point of actually lying about me repeatedly. Even when you've been showed proof, my audience was hounding you. They still, anytime they see your fucking name, ask you for that video. It's been more than a year and you haven't had time to make it?
Yeah, I work 2 jobs and I have to bartend in a couple nights a week and teach 5 days a week. And then from October through March, I'm a basketball coach and then weight room instructor for the rest of the school year, and then during the summer I'm running youth camps and traveling for teacher conferences, and it's I'm very good at starting projects. I had the last project I had almost complete was Stephen Molyneux's, and then he got nuked. Now I'm pretty sure you're not going to get nuked. So,
yes, I did.
So I'm pretty sure you're not going to get nuked. So just based on your content.
You have no problem going out there and just saying this stuff and then saying you have the. This is my problem with you. If you just wanted to bitch that you don't like that I don't go after DeSantis, fine. I haven't. I have no problem. All right, you're right. But then you throw things on top of it like you're a racist when there's literally no proof of me being racist in any way. Zan, thank you. Teach bullshit. Schools aren't open. Yeah, he could be masturbating behind a Zoom call. I'm not saying he is. I just think that's funny that keeps happening.
Yeah, no, this school year has been very different where I am not a full-time history teacher. They have me working half the day I'm in special education classes. Then they have me doing a study hall every day, and then I work as a teacher aide in another special education department.
All right, that's fine. That's fine. How long will it take you to get this expose of me being a race realist?
Well,
using my words.
Well, as you say, the biggest problem, and I've been looking for software that could break down each of your streams into text form, so I don't have to listen to
software
4 hours of 4 hours of a stream. That would definitely help. And the only things I've been finding is they want me to pay like $5 per video, and obviously I can't do that. So I'm looking for any other software type thing that could be possible. I just haven't found it. That's what I've been mainly looking for.
So you have no evidence is what you're tacitly admitting.
Monkey talk shit ton. I have to, when I heard stuff that he talked about AOC, I'd have to remember when I was in the basement back in 2018. I think it was after the Kavanaugh hearings when he was talking about marginal tax rates, because it was one of the times that.
No, we're talking about race realism. Don't change the subject.
Oh, race realism. Well, I know 2020 during the Black Lives Movement. So if I wanted to get a series there.
So, no, just tell us what. Just to your best ability, give us an idea of what he said.
And before you do, Justin, thank you. I can imagine he's in program full of and ums all class. Hey, I can't judge anybody for that. Anyhow, yeah. What did I say? I mean, you said the 1350 thing, but that wasn't a thing at the time. At the time when people were talking about race realism, when you brought this up, it was just the race realism that was going on in the arguments from the alt-right. And I was somebody who was arguing against it to the point I pissed off a lot of people by telling them intelligence tests are bullshit. So it should be real easy to find that.
Well, I'm glad that, but that's still okay. So you don't like the IQ test, but if you think that the crime rates are not caused by poverty,
no. What did he say?
Well, when he
thank you, Chris.
When
I know
he talks
YouTubers
about
are 24/7 yet find time to put out videos. Talks about crime.
You don't talk about social economic situation.
Crime wasn't part of the thing at the time.
At all during Black Lives Matter, you never talked about crime, because I'm pretty sure I heard you talking about crime and how the blacks are not being killed at higher rates and how they usually deserve it. And
so,
Chef James, thank you. Excuses. I'm sorry. I said they usually deserve it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
need that too.
I think what we're learning is he doesn't really understand what race realism actually is. No. He just thinks he does because he heard Sam talk about
race realism means you're not believing that it's caused by social economic conditions.
No.
Yes.
Oh.
Race realism is the belief that IQ is inherently lower among white and black people when compared to Asians and Jews.
It can be IQ. It can be a propensity toward violence. It can be
it's not.
What's the name of the book? What's the name of the book, Soon?
I have it. It's the bell curve.
The bell curve.
Yeah, that guy was a white supremacist. The guy who wrote that book.
No, he's not.
And
he's not
100% not a white supremacist.
But this is what race realism was, and I argued against it repeatedly.
And okay, I'm going to blow your mind here real quick because you really don't know what you're talking about. Charles Murray, the guy who wrote it, also wrote a book about how income inequality is killing the country.
But that's just because he knows income inequality hurts white people too, but he still believes crime is inherent.
Come on.
He still believes that that black crime is genetically predisposed.
All he did was cite studies. That's it. And and you have never read the book, and that's blatantly obvious because it is one paragraph.
No, my educational psychology, because I had to read like half the book.
So you read half the book, and then you would know it is one paragraph in the book.
Massive Dynamic. I got a couple of super chats I got to get real quick. Massive, thank you so much. He says UFO hasn't tweeted to her about DeSantis check. I don't mind if he sends it to me afterwards because we're in the middle of the show. So that's not a for or against, guys. Chris, thank you. This clown obviously doesn't know. You called out the times black people who were killed unjustly by police. Yes, I do.
Hair Beans in the chat said he's going the way of we trained him wrong on purpose, like from Kung Pao. It's okay. You know what? Go ahead.
Hang on, let me get one more. Becca, thank you. Just a friendly reminder to hydrate and stretch. I know this isn't Twitch, but feels like a game to me. The dude promised me a video. Personally, I want a damn video. You did promise a lot of people that video. Crusader, thank you.
I did promise him a video.
To get anyone to debate Monk, then good grief, get me on for a debate. We can talk taxes, 2A. Any dude you have on now is driving me nuts with all the uhs and ums. Again, guys, I don't judge people for that because there's times that I do it myself. And he's not a professional streamer, so cut him some slack with that. Everything else, by all means, rip into it because this is the kind of shit I deal with on Twitter.
Okay, so far what I've garnered from this is you don't understand what race realism is. You don't understand who Richard Herrnstein or Charles Murray were. Herrnstein was a Hungarian Jew, actually, born in the 30s in New York. You've never read the book, clearly, so you really don't know what you're talking about. But Sam Cedar said it once, so it must be good, right? That's all I'm getting from
I don't remember ever listening to Sam Cedar then. I've only been listening to him for a couple of years. I don't remember.
So, are you ready right now to admit that you do not understand what race realism is? And Monkey has never been a race realist.
I will have to research and get an official paper with sources.
I just told you. I just told the book. And I'm telling you,
Sin has been on... He's been on streams with me where I've argued with people about race realism.
And I've done the research. I've done the legwork, so you don't have to. It is
Tarkata, thank you. Ranting Monkey's a racist and evil, terrible person. Why do you follow when people act inappropriate? Most would disassociate immediately.
Oh, one reason is because he doesn't do the block shit. Even when I did go too far that major time. So, he had every reason in the world to block me at that time, and he chose not to. And the other reason is, for whatever reason, Twitter puts your stuff like every fourth post in my main feed.
Because
you follow me,
like and follow everything.
Well, no, I don't click. I don't click like. I respond to maybe. Well, there's some days like he writes. I'll do all 4, and then there'll be 5 days where I don't do anything. But no, I write a lot more stuff on left things, left people I follow, and I don't see those on my main feed for days, and all of a sudden they'll pop up. Like something like the Surfs. I'm kind of. Watching them a couple nights a week, and kind of
so are you ready to admit that you don't know what race realism is?
What I will do, actually, okay, before I write down the topics, so instead of a video where I'm talking, I'd rather just write with sources. I think that'd be pretty better way for me to.
Okay, I get what you're doing right now, but I'm going to cut you off right here because I just straight up asked you what it was, and you told me the wrong thing. So you don't know. You simply do not.
Race realism. Race realism is not something with a hard and fast definition.
It is. It has a set definition.
No, that's like saying
it has a set definition of races have an inherent quality that other ones don't have. Yeah, that is what realism is. It's not crime statistics and all that. It is races are inherently this, that, or the third.
Yeah, it's saying that genetics causes the crime and not their poverty.
No,
Yes.
crime is nowhere in there.
Obviously, you're at the way you express actions and decision making.
No.
Either it's being affected. It's either what's the fucking term?
What's the term?
Nature or nurture. Like those are your options. And if you think that a racial demographic is criminal based on nature,
you
that's
almost
race
had it. You
realism.
got close. You were pretty close, but you just veered off at the end.
How can you accuse me of supporting something you don't even understand?
That's what race realism is.
No,
If
it's
you believe
not.
the genetic component. Yes.
It's not.
Realism, but that has the genetic component has
Genetic
nothing
IQ
to do with
component.
crime.
IQ is one part of genetics.
That has nothing to do with crime. You just said it's people commit crime based on their race. That's not what it is.
Yeah.
Oh my
it's,
God.
It's saying that it's not saying that. Because I don't even think that the race realists, notorious ones, will say that IQ is what determines crime, and blacks just happen to have a lower IQ. And it's like no, they will say that blacks, regardless of IQ, will have higher criminal rates. So they'll say that blacks with 100 IQ will commit more crimes than a white with 100 IQ. That is what they will say.
I don't know where you're getting this crime thing from, but that's not it. It's just not.
That's where you see them. Okay, so most of my debates over the past 2 years is with the Sargonite crowd. That is one of their go-tos.
I think you'd be better at this.
Okay,
Sorry.
hang on one second.
They're terrible.
Thank you. Hang on. Good Lord Monkey, I've listened to Flat Earth debates that don't hurt this much. Oof. You know what? You just did it again, Eufia. You keep doing this, and it's what you do to me all the fucking time. And you did it with the AOC donkey thing. Oh, well, Southerners would think that. I've spent my time debating the Sargonites. That means fuck all.
That's definitely a way.
They could be wrong about everything. You understand that, right?
Well, they use that trope over and over, and there's many others. Whether it's Richard Spencer at his
at least 3
conferences.
times in
I
this
mean,
series.
if they don't understand what race realism is, or Richard Spencer isn't a race realist, and no one is. Or
Who said
he's a
Spencer's not a
Biden
race
voter.
realist, or was? I mean, I don't follow Spencer, but you realize he can talk about race realism and crime statistics, right?
Yes, but if he's saying that crime statistics is caused by genetics.
Yeah, but that's what he said. That's not what it is.
That's not, yeah. I can say the sky's purple doesn't make it true. The other one that we've gotten into some big arguments over is healthcare.
Wait, real quick. Sorry.
Yes, that was
Sure,
the other
sure.
reason I kind of
Wait,
turned
Sid
hard against
wants to
you.
say something before we move on.
Okay.
Can you just admit you didn't know what it was, and you came in on false pretenses as to what race realism is?
No, I feel
like once we can get past that, we'll be able to move a lot smoother.
I don't accept that you have even laid out like a 2-sentence definition of race realism.
I literally just
did.
Okay, what is the 2-sentence definition?
It is the
Hold
belief
the thoughts then. Wait. Shoehorn of Plenty, thank you. As a Mexican, I think you're racist because you believe Taco Bell is Mexican food. No. I believe it is the best Mexican food. Go ahead, Sid.
That's wrong. Race realism is the belief, it's the thought, it's the study that races are inherently one way or another based on their genetics. It has absolutely nothing to do with crime statistics, nothing to do with socioeconomic status. But Charles Murray does lay out how that does play into the crime statistic in a different book.
So yes, he's there.
No, it's not the same thing. They're 2 different books.
I don't care if he explains the first theory, second theory, part of the overall theory. That's words exactly that each race acts a different way.
No, I didn't say acts.
Okay, what's the word you use?
They have genetic differences based on their race.
And genetics do what?
That's up to whomever to decide. But it does
So
not
if you
mean
think
that
it's
they commit
crime,
crimes.
that would make them a race
No.
realism.
No. That's not the definition of race realism.
I didn't say crime was the only one. I'm saying if you
No. It doesn't matter
their
what you're
actions-
attributing it to, because that's not the point of the book. The point of the book was that they are different. It did not contribute anything to crime or anything like that. So, by definition, race realism is just the differences between races.
differences in
Nothing. It's just the
differences in
full
nothing
stop.
is that's
Differences,
a nonsensical
full stop.
statement.
Differences, full stop. That's what race realism is.
Then you have to say what the differences
No,
are.
I don't.
Then
I
you have
literally
to
do
say
not, because
differences.
it's not up to me to decide what the differences are. But that's not the point of the book.
And
Gamer
he's
Gleam,
not the
thank you.
arbiter of race realism. Like one
Hobbit,
guy wrote a
Present,
book
Hello
on
Boys, and
his
Yu-Gi-Oh.
definition.
You realize that's where it came from, right?
Yes, that was the
That's where the term came from, or
impetus.
whatever.
Yes, so he gets to define it.
No,
And
that's
his
not how
He doesn't
words
get to
work.
define it.
Words-
It came from
He
him.
said
Kevin
the
Sargold,
word,
thank
but
you.
Words change meanings or are expanded.
But it
on
doesn't
meaning.
change meanings depending on
God.
who wants to argue about it. So just admit you did not understand what it
change
was,
meaning.
and we
I
can
did.
move on.
It's saying genetic differences.
No, it's just genetic differences, full stop.
Kevin
And
Sargold,
those
thank
would
you.
have to
Like
be
this thought that
expressed.
blacks make better athletes. Indeed. Similar thinking. Okay, Sim, can we move on?
If he admits it.
I don't think
admit
he's
you
gonna
didn't
admit it.
understand.
Probably start
Just admit you
posting
didn't
stuff.
understand.
Dude, I've argued with this guy.
I
for years. He's not
have
gonna admit it.
your definition is nonsensical.
It's not my definition.
Well, it's a definition that you're attributing to your understanding.
But it's not my definition, and I don't attribute it to anything. It's the definition.
It's the
There's none.
definition. Oh God. Anyhow,
That's like
Okay.
saying, you can only be a white supremacist. Let's say Hitler and Mein Kampf use the term white supremacist. That means unless you follow Hitler's white supremacy to a T, then you're not white supremacist. That's not how that works. Words can
that
be
is a
changed
wrong.
over time.
That is a
They can-
ridiculous.
How
That's
is it
ridiculous.
ridiculous? I'm saying
Color, thank you.
if he coined
Richard
the
Spencer
term,
endorsed UFO's candidate, therefore UFO is a racist. Extrapolation at its finest. Extrapolation. I don't know how to say that word.
Extrapolation.
Extrapolation. Thank you. I can't read some words.
Extrapolation.
That's how I am. You don't get to judge me in that aspect.
I do.
Anyhow,
Okay.
healthcare.
We can move
This-
on. I'm right.
This was one that caused a big problem because you got very, very upset. I got very, very upset. And you think I want to kill people.
if you want to deny people health care, yes.
Who did I deny healthcare?
If you take poor people off of health care, they are denied health care. That's basic. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts. That's dichotomous.
Now, this came up because of Obamacare. What poor people would have been taken off of healthcare if Obamacare wasn't passed?
Myself.
You do realize Obamacare didn't give healthcare to any poor people, right?
Well,
That's
I
not
got
what it was for.
I got expanded Medicaid coverage, and then I could not be rejected based off of pre-existing conditions. There was two parts to it.
Could you
there was
get-
the patient protections, and then there was the price aspect, which was the individual mandate. And that the individual mandate was, you put a larger
I know what the
pool
individual
of
mandate
healthy
is.
people. I'm just saying that was the money.
Could they have passed something that said you can't deny people coverage without passing the rest of Obamacare?
They could have done a pure
Okay, so I
patient
wasn't
protections,
denying
yes.
anybody.
Well,
Travis,
just because
thank
you
you.
have
This guy's
patient
getting slapped
protections,
around like he's in a vaudeville comedy show.
no,
I'm
just
sorry.
because you have patient protections, it doesn't. I would not have been able to afford it unless there was expanded
Oh.
Medicaid.
And so you didn't have any insurance before Obamacare?
When I was laid
As
off.
a teacher? As a teacher?
Well, I was laid off
Wait,
as a teacher during
whoa.
Scott Walker days.
Time out. Back up. You were a teacher who had no health care.
No, I got laid off, and you lose health care when you're laid off. I wasn't tenured. And when my school had to make a 20% budget cut, new teachers get the axe. I was the youngest one.
Snubber, thank you. Healthcare is a privilege, not a right. Oh, and Obamacare nearly tripled my prescriptions, so don't even. Thank you, Dark Resurrector. Said Obamacare caused insurance prices to skyrocket. They absolutely did.
No, they didn't.
So they absolutely did.
They increased at a lower
Premiums
rate
and
than they
copays
were.
went through the fucking roof.
They increased at a lower rate than what they were previously increasing. If you go from 2000 to 2020, you'll see massive increases from 2000 to 2010. And then instead of increasing 20%, it'll increase 10%. And that was because the moderate centrists and moderate conservatives got their fingers on the bill, which said that the government could not negotiate drug prices, which means it had to pay
moderate
the drug prices. What's that?
Thank you, Gamer Valine. Hospitals are legally required to treat illness. They aren't required to do it for free. Why are my premiums higher? Because your union sucked. So all the people who got higher premiums, your argument is that their premiums were going up higher than before or after Obamacare.
They went up lower, yes, by about depending on the year. You know, you can. I think it averages out about 50% a year.
Thank you, John Migda. Nah, he worked as the window licker. Okay. Do you support Medicare for all?
If I just had to take like the Canadian model or the British model, yeah, I would definitely take one of those models where everyone's in.
So you're for killing people with chronic illnesses.
No, how would that happen?
Thank you, Dr. Resurrect. I paid
people.
Hang on. Resurrect, thank you. I paid triple what I paid before. And Revenus, thank you. I went from paying $90 from my paycheck to over $150 under Obamacare. It's only a 10% raise, dude.
All the ACA did was make poor people unable to pay the mandate when they can't afford health insurance.
Now, what the ACA
which is
did
why it should have been
universal. In all of the people who didn't need insurance, that the people who made a choice not to get insurance, forced them to get it. That's what the ACA was all about. The group, even when they first started selling the ACA, nobody talked about it being for poor people. Nobody, not even Obama, talked about it being for poor people.
Yeah, it was. Well, originally until he had to acquiesce to Joe Lieberman. Joe Lieberman was the killer of the public option. The public option was pretty much going to cover everyone in the country, but about, I think, 10 million.
You mean the public option that Obama was for when he was running and then lied and said, and video evidence of him saying for it was shown? He's like, nah, I never said that public option.
Oh, yeah, he didn't really care. He didn't care about shit.
Patients have always been protected. That's why Obamacare came into being, because people got care without paying. Canada has death panels. What I was getting at with the chronic illnesses, do you know how long it takes if you have to go get a specialist in these countries? If you have to go see a specialist in, say, Britain, because you brought up them, or Canada, how long it can take to actually get in to see them?
Yeah, actually, in one of his recent episodes, Lance of the Serfs explained 2 of his surgeries and how long, and it was based on whether his surgery could get put back or whether it had to be immediate. And he could give 100 other people who have had surgeries in Canada. Yes, and I can say that I know people without insurance, and they don't get the surgery ever, and they just die. I mean,
but it's America that's killing people with their health care.
Well, if you don't have insurance, you
Then
just
you have to
die.
pay for it yourself.
Not unless you have a pre-existing condition. Insurance companies don't have to cover you, and that's assuming that you can pay the market rate. Because if your job doesn't offer it, or if you need to work a year,
It sounds to
your
me
job.
like the issue here is the pharmaceutical companies overcharging for these that people need, not
that's what-
insurance.
Real quick, Mischiefly, thank you. I'm like 7 minutes behind because of net problems, but holy fuck, I'm getting flashed with Poly B CPR. Much love. Haven't caught live in a long time. Well, thanks for tuning in. Hope you're enjoying it. You ever lived on government healthcare? When? How so?
A couple times in the past 10 years. I've gotten laid off from a job twice in the past 10 years.
No. That would be you talking about like Medicaid, right?
Well, that's Obamacare, expanded Medicaid.
No. That's not what I asked you. Real quick, Dark Resurrect. Thank you, Lauren Chen's file. Yeah, I asked you if you've lived under
Local
government
Twitter's not
health,
going to take
not government insurance,
anything
government
about roaming
healthcare.
millennials seriously.
Have you ever lived under it?
Well, isn't the only one VA or isn't that the only true one?
The VA and just being in the military.
Well, okay. Oh, I thought that was still referred to as the VA in general.
No, that's the Veterans Association. No, or the administration.
Oh,
so,
so
you've never had to live under doctors pay and hospitals whose budget is strictly defined by the federal government.
I've not.
But you saw a show where somebody talked about it. And I know you've heard my story.
I mean, I lived.
Hang on. No. I know you've heard my
question, and then
my mom. You answered the question, and then I started going on again, and you decided you need to add on to your answer to try to make some bullshit that makes it sound better.
You were saying, "Oh, you saw it somewhere." Like, no, I lived right next to an Air Force base, and two of my two roommates.
Oh no, you personally didn't. No, you didn't. Right?
No, my best friend from high school joined the military. He was originally stationed in Elmendorf when I was at my first school, and then when I got my
what does it have to do with
master's, he was able to go to. What's that?
What does it have to do with you?
I'm saying he had that health care, and he had ankle surgeries, shoulder surgery. His wife had hip surgery. And actually, with hip surgery,
you don't even know your. Thank you, Bencalo. You know your own country. Leave us out. And Poker Pierce, thank you. If there's ACA, we need free guns from government also.
I'd be fine with that, actually. Every person getting one gun.
Every person
if they do the background stuff. Sure, why not?
One.
Missouri, thank you so much for the donation with no message. My point being here is you've never done it. You've heard about other people. You've never had to wait. I had to wait one time 6 months to go see a specialist.
Which specialist
in a military hospital?
Which specialist was that for?
That was for a neurologist.
Yeah, that's been a bad. That's underfunded in every hospital. Like that's not something you can easily get. Actually, Brittany Venti,
really?
Just is going through the neurology system.
No,
yes,
motherfucker. Because I have a neurologist right now. You know how long it took me to get in to see them?
6 months.
2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, when I needed to see one, I got in there immediately.
No, it sounds like that that the VA was underfunded, and George Bush he cut the VA funding, could give an increased active soldiers as he invaded Iraq. So when they talked about
if we have a national health plan, there'll be no time we have to cut any money, right?
Well,
they just keep printing and printing. Yeah, Gamer Feline, I knew this one would get you, Gamer Feline, who says, no, the VA is separate. Thankfully, those of us are private. After this, hang on. After we did MRI to find out the military physical therapy meant nothing because it's bulging discs. Here to learn underneath these crystals. Many times the doctors don't care, or even if they do, they're so overwhelmed they can't keep up.
Yes, the
and
VA
your idea
has,
is just, oh no, this is hunky dory for everybody, and if you don't agree with it, you're trying to kill people.
if you want to go over the history of the VA post Vietnam and why things got underfunded.
You realize we're not talking about the VA, right?
VA or active military, either one. VA. Do
you even know what the active military insurance is called? The care that they get?
I forget the acronym. Like I said, my roommate, best friend, had to get 2 surgeries. And his wife with the hip, they actually made her wait a very long time because they did not have condition as worthy. They tried saying there's no way her hip condition occurred as a result of the military, even though it clearly, obviously it did. And after petitioning a couple different departments and the Mayo Clinic, she was able to get into the Mayo Clinic, which is an amazing hospital, and get the surgery. So yes, in her case, in that one, but that happens with regular insurance, where they say, "Hey, we don't recognize that." As my now deceased wife, she had a different condition that was a weird stomach issue, and insurance companies didn't know what to deal with it because it's very ununderstood, and the different specialists have different ways of handling it. So the insurance did not.
Do you think that would have been better under a government-run plan where they're underfunded and overworked?
Under the current VA, no, it probably been worse.
No, I'm not talking just the VA. I'm talking any plan.
or the military, because
the NHS, for fuck's sake. Real quick, thank you, Donald Camp, who says that in TRICARE don't talk about stuff you don't know. And George W. Bush was 16 years ago, ex-Navy. Dark Resurrect, thank you. TRICARE used to be Champus. Yes, indeed, guys. And Dark Allow, thank you. I hate to suggest this. Tell him about your mother. He knows about my mom. He's heard this story.
And like I said, I understand your yeah. No, I mean that's the thing. Like,
oops. Oh, I feel bad for both parties.
To take care of your medical.
That's in the implied.
Implied?
Yeah. Implied doctrine.
What? No, wait, hold on. What?
He's talking about the general welfare clause. Thank you, Poker Pierce. What if the government stops stealing our money? That's never going to happen. And Gamer Valine, thank you. The VA and military don't require residency for physicians. They hand them patients and hope for the best. It's not a good system. It's really not. The general welfare clause had nothing to do with providing medical care. Do you think that back then they were providing free medical care to everybody?
No, the doctor and health system was much different in both how they treat people and the amount of on the building, hospitals themselves. It was much different. Obviously, that was not how they would start to the Constitution, but how they, hey, this thing called amendments and the court.
Where's the amendment that makes that?
and the courts are able to interpret. And in the last Constitution, or when the court last heard about the ACA, John Roberts said in his majority opinion that the state has a compelling interest in the health of its citizens in order to...
He did not say that there was a guaranteed right to health. What he argued was that it was still legal because they called the individual mandate penalty a tax. Thank you, Val, who says, I'm way behind listening because of work, but so far listening to these mental gymnastics is simultaneously infuriating and entertaining. And thank you, Becca, who says, I'm on TRICARE and I do not wish that upon anyone in this country. He just explained his roommate's wife's cousin's sister's boyfriend's mom's hip situation, and he wants that shit for everyone. This douchebag is a moron.
That's my best friend and his wife. Like I don't know what this third degree nonsense is.
It's a joke. It's take on the baseballs thing.
Who's on first?
Now, I am curious because you mentioned it a little bit ago. Well, probably near the beginning of the stream when I first asked you about calling you a pedo. And somebody sent me a stream, and I wasn't going to watch it, but I watched a little piece of it, and you'd mentioned it on there. Do you drink a lot before you start tweeting?
If it's depending on the time of the tweet.
Missouri, thank you. When I was in the Army, I had to wait 8 hours in a completely empty ER to get my hand stitched back together. Oh, dude, if you had to go to the ER when I was a kid, fuck, you were there forever. No, and I don't mean that mean. I'm just serious. I'm serious about that because it would explain a lot of how you act.
Holy shit, I'm crying.
Because you seem to go from 0 to 100 a lot. And you really do put a whole lot of shit on me and then go, well, people say, and it's like, I'm not people, I'm monkey. And so I'm trying to figure out.
I think he's trying to say monkeys aren't people.
So I'm trying to figure out how, stop it, how you make these leaps so confidently when they're often so very wrong. Thank you, Gamer Valine. I'm trying to move my mom near me so I can get her something better than Medicaid garbage. She has to pay $700 a year for at 71 years old. Good luck.
Holy shit, I am crying.
So do you do it a lot? I mean, because that was your excuse on another stream, and I'm just wondering, is that the problem?
Hey, no shit.
Do I go hyperbolic at times? Yes.
No, okay. Is that what it is? It's just hyperbolic. It's not like alcoholism.
Well, I'm usually hyperbolic with alcohol.
Wait.
He's saying yes.
I mean, yeah, just a yes is fine.
Yeah,
that'll suffice.
I mean, fuck it. It's
yeah,
what it is, man.
Yeah, I'm a drinking motherfucker. It's fine.
And
as Roseanne said, do not use Ambien and alcohol and tweet.
Are you
Fair
really?
enough.
Are you trying to use the Roseanne defense?
The Roseanne defense. Careful, man. She's a racist. I don't even know where to go from here.
I'm still fucking crying. Holy shit.
I think we'll wrap up here, guys. I'll probably do a post game later tonight. Thank you, Poker Pierce. Maybe he took alcohol and ammo too seriously. You feel is there anything else you want to say before we wrap this up?
They're
like
already wrapping up
I
here.
would love to be, the main problem with Twitter is obviously it's limited and it's short. And especially since a lot of my sourcing is in books and it's like people demand articles. And so oftentimes my sourcing sucks.
I
So I
mentioned this
wanted
prior to
to
the
have you
end
pick
40
a
minutes ago.
couple things that you think I was the most egregiously wrong, or completely had no sources that I could look up, write something up, and put it on the cloud for you able to download if felt so inclined.
I think we have uncovered a couple of those things. We've come to the understanding that you don't understand what race realism is. You don't quite get what crime statistics are in a certain context. And you think everybody who does not agree with Sam Cedar or the Serfs is wrong for not criticizing Ron DeSantis for something he didn't do.
Well, the Sheriff's never talked about DeSantis, but
Oh, okay, my bad.
DeSantis
Real
brought
quick.
up that because that was one of the actually that scandal was kind of simultaneously with the first nursing home issue with Cuomo. I mean, Cuomo's first he was being discovered in April that he was doing shady shit. It took a couple months for whistleblowers to release shit to the press, and
whistleblowers didn't do that at that time. That it took a year. Ryan
Yeah,
Walters,
it took
thank
a
you.
long
How
time.
did your universal healthcare plan approach the issue of state growth and development in medical research procedures? There's one you can write up. Karaman, I still think he's crushing on you. And Kevin Sarvold, thank you. So is this why he was let go twice in 10 years as a history teacher? The extra hyperbole.
Well, no, I was let go once as a teacher because of the 2010 cutbacks that Scott Walker initiated. My other job, that was a private sector job that wasn't involved in education. And I was out in North Dakota. And when the oil boom slowed down, my company had overexpanded. And I knew they were overexpanding. I was just hoping that the cutbacks in oil wasn't going to occur for a couple more years. But, right when I started making some, 1 year I finally got to six figures in money, and then a couple months later I'm laid off. So that's just how it goes. Can't complain. But
to your suggestion, I mean, I don't know what I don't have a problem arguing with people on Twitter. My problem with you has always been lying, the way you lie. Now, I have a lot of fun with the other stuff, like telling you to read because you kept missing. I mean, the 43% was literally written, dude. All you had to do was click the other link to follow the actual
And
poll.
I showed you a picture of where it said 44 in the same.
No, you showed me a picture
source.
of where it said 56.
56 for the opposite, and you subtract 56 to get the 44.
Yeah, and again, this proves my point of why it's necessary to read, because there are undecideds and things in these. So when you said that it's
that part was not the undecided.
It was 43.
Monkey, I think you're not understanding that undecided vote go where he wants them to go.
No, holy crap.
Because even in that one, if you take your undecided,
for one thing,
that would be
that
44.
One, you can look at that tweet. That was not the tweet with undecided voters. That did not have undecided voters. And if you looked at the source, it said if you looked at the source that you circled, Monkey, on your tweet, it said 56 in favor, or 43 in favor, 56 against, which means that's 99%.
Dude, this is some Scott Steiner math happening right now.
That's 99%, and the article that was talking about that study rounded it up to 44%.
No, they didn't round up
which
anything.
I then
They
circled.
170 in there. The only thing they put was the 56.
Look, I posted it. There's a picture of it. Holy shit.
Dude.
I will repost that on Twitter or something.
Yeah, no, I give him a second to do that because I'm interested to see what he can pull up real quick if he's. So just give him a second there.
So that would be my tweets and replies. This was a couple days ago. That should be easy because it's a picture. I went after that cinema a lot lately.
Oh, good for you.
She is a cunt.
And what are we waiting for here?
I'm
Finally, I circled the 54% of the article referring to 5644. I mean 44. Okay, I reposted too much shit from the surfs. And
man, you like them.
It's kind of like one day a
The
week. I go
surfs,
through their
more like
Twitter.
the turfs.
That's usually how I do things. Like I said,
Well,
your
I
feed
found
is
the
only
audio
one-
clip of it, actually. Hold on.
You found an audio clip?
Oh, is it not playing through? Shit, hold on. Hold on. I just I found it. I'm gonna, that should be it right there. Let's see if this plays. No, nothing.
No, it's not going to. It's StreamYards, dude. It's a pass with that. Hyperbole strikes again. Personally, I like Margarita. Hyperbole. Thank you, Kevisar of old. Did I get the other one that was right there? So Biden from Poker Pierce. Thank you. Sorry if I missed that. I know I started it, but Sin.
Sorry, my fucking shit just cut off. I don't know why.
It's the wonders of live TV, my friend.
Live TV. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Test 1, 2.
I can hear you.
Okay. Can you hear this?
No,
Oh, god damn it.
you're gonna have to play it through your
Wait,
speakers and have your microphone by
shit,
it.
did I pass it? Because this was just a couple days ago, right? So it would have been on the 9th.
Probably on the 9th. Sounds
Oh.
about right. Here, I got it right here. If you want to, we don't even have to retweet it. Da 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 da. Here's what you shared. 56 disapproved. There's nothing in there about 44 anywhere. And I can go get the article and bring it up so we can see that it's not missing.
What's
from
56 minus 100?
There. 1 second. So I went to the actual poll, which was linked in that article, where it shows that the approve was only 43%. And I did that
And
specifically
53,
because I knew
56 does not equal 100. So you have to put that one somewhere.
you don't. You don't. It can be undecided. That's what undecided
wasn't
means.
undecided
Is that
here.
it
That
doesn't
was-
go in
I
either
think I've got it.
category.
They rounded down on both sides. So it was like
I think I've got it for you, Monkey.
Go for it.
And you can see that statement is not true. See, normally if you go one-on-one with another wrestler, you got a 50-50 chance of winning. But I'm a genetic freak, and I'm not normal. So you got a 25% at best at beating me. And then you add Kurt Angle to the mix, your chances of winning drastically go down. See, the three-way at sacrifice, you got a 33 and a third chance of winning. But I got a 2/3 chance of winning because Kurt Angle knows he can't beat me, and he's not even going to try. So, Samoa Joe, you take your 33 and a third chance minus my 25% chance, and you got an 8 1/3 chance of winning at sacrifice.
I think that's pretty accurate to how he got it.
Johnny, okay, thank you. Just got here, restart. Go back to the beginning. You can do it. And Poker Pierce, thank you. Is it okay to be white? I don't think we're delving into that right now.
Wait, who's that question for?
Well, if you want to answer it, go ahead.
Yes.
There you go. And John Migda, thank you. Does you feel
Yes,
drink?
it's okay.
Apparently, before he tweets.
Well, right now I'm drinking Revelstoke. I was doing this at Christmas. Revelstoke roasted pecan whiskey. It's really I don't know. It's kind of like a Southern Comfort type. I don't know if you've had these flavored whiskeys. They're like artificially so. There's none I really like,
Jack.
but drinking this straight is okay.
Jack is worse than whatever that shit.
Jack or Cuervo, guys. Jack or Cuervo.
Yeah, Jack is bad.
Nah, I'm a bourbon man personally.
I am too. I couldn't find my bottle of bourbon. I just bought it like a month ago. I bought a bottle of Jefferson's, I think it was.
It's not terrible.
My favorite's Blanton's, but they're fucking old. Yeah, in 2020, I don't know what the hell they did with their casks, but they do not exist
Just blame that it was 'cause
outside of
2020.
eBay this year.
Now, I just want to get back to what I was saying there for a minute. If there's a specific debate topic you think that I fucked up that you want to write something up for and send me the thing, I'll read it. Bob Potato, thank you. Ufio isn't an Aboriginal, so he doesn't drink gas. Now, not all of them do that, just most.
My ancestors were Swedish, so I don't know if that's good or bad.
But when it comes to the stuff on Twitter, all I want you to do is stop lying. Stop that, and we're fine. I don't give a fuck if you criticize me. People do it all the time. I have conversations with people that I just fucking disagree with, and we have no. I've had 2 of those very public ones with Sinatra.
What was that about?
Oh God, Sin, what did we argue about back then?
Lovers quarrel?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he wanted to be Big Spoon. I wanted to be Big Spoon, and you can't have 2 big spoons. But
Yeah, it turns into just face mashing.
it does. It's Thank you, Poker Pierce. Guest, on a scale of 1 to 10, how racist are you?
I've done that a couple times lately. I've been doing that on Facebook.
What?
No, actually, yeah, my biggest I've been getting really angry at my the small town I'm working in right now because nobody wears a mask. And we have a population of 2,500, 3,000 people, and 2 people have died each week for the past 4 weeks, and people still wear masks. And it just blows my mind. Like, we know these people who died.
I think one of us misheard that question.
I think perhaps.
Well,
But
what was the
anyway.
question?
No, I was just saying that when I asked that question, I probably had that on copy and paste from Facebook, where that's what I've been using on Facebook. And if I used it on Twitter, I have no idea when and where.
Okay.
Johnny Hookett, thank you. Confucius say, too many big spoon, not enough fork. There you go. It happens.
All right.
So what do I
wrap
got
it
to
up.
do to get you to quit lying? Do I got to send you to rehab?
Oh, after this, I'll probably be a lot more responsible with yours.
You think that's a good way to
like I
be
said,
to people?
it's more anger and frustration when I'm on Twitter. It's one of those
Why do you
things
think that's
where
okay?
it's the Mr. Medicare way, where it's just for shit posting.
No.
Medicare just doesn't lie about people. though.
Medicare doesn't lie about people. He'll make fun of you. Are you trying to just be edgy? Is that what it is?
Not edgy.
Poker Pierce, thank you. Thank you so much for tiny humans. Well, what do you mean by
I
the
said
Medicare
just-
way then?
Oh, just trying to start shit at times.
Well, you can do that.
And like I said,
without-
it's usually it just came from Facebook, talking to people that I know that I've known for 20 years. And then I come on Facebook and I'm angry, or I come on Twitter. So
I got
Again,
So
I
at
have
times-
to ask, does that sound like a good idea to you?
I got nothing.
is it
for
good? No, I not have Twitter. But like I said, this is
Then delete it.
recent. Mostly 2020 is when I really started just getting pissed at anti-maskers and shit.
Yeah, you started this shit with me well before COVID. Thank you, Caramon. It says Medicare more like older boy and Dark Resurrect. Thank you. So you just want to start crap so you don't mean what you say. That's a good. Do you mean what you say over there?
When
how
it's
can
a
people
real
know that you're
topic,
being-
yes. When I say how great are you? On a
Bless
scale
you,
of 1 to 10,
Sinatra.
9 or 10. Yeah, that's obviously something. Not if I'm putting stats on, on the favorability polls. Yeah, that's not me trying to be hyper.
Sorry, Shio. Shio says Streamlabs also racist not to have sex with other races. We can actually ask that question in a second. Evolved Potato, thank you. Or, I'm sorry, Shio over on Streamlabs. Don't mind me just mixing some Crown Royal hyperbole with Diet Coke. Is it racist not to have sex with other races?
Thank you, everyone in the chat who said
be.
bless you.
It can be, but like I actually broke up with a. I found out that she was a Latina, and it was after like 5-6 dates or whatever, and she said something about only dating white guys. I don't know. That was kind of a turnoff.
Oh man, she sounds like a keeper.
Poker Pierce, thank you. Yes,
there was other issues with
should
her.
give a job to a minority. Well,
There's
I
no
do need to wrap
minorities
this.
where I live.
How'd you get the Latina?
Oh, that's when I lived in my private sector job in North Dakota.
Oh. Justin, thank you. Masks don't save lives or anything. I need to wrap this up. So I do, because like the other day, the reason this whole thing happened is because you decided to go after Sin.
Wonder
Have
how
you done that
Lord's
before?
Night is gonna go tonight.
I don't think so.
You're not sure?
Won't do it again.
No, because he doesn't appear in my feed. I wasn't following him, but yeah, I mean, like I said, I will, and like I said, I also had been really frustrated with the conspiracy theory of the Sargonaut crowd, because they really have gotten ridiculous.
I am not a Sargonite. Neither is Monkey.
Why don't you take it out on them?
Oh, because they like to avoid Twitter.
Well, this is the thing. Well, they have to because he keeps getting booted. But
no, yes,
you hang on, because you just a few minutes ago you attributed most of this to the pandemic, and I pointed out that you started on me well before the pandemic. So I'm very curious.
I'm saying the emotion.
Let's go to before time.
Okay.
What made that okay? Because you weren't frustrated from the pandemic and people not wearing masks.
Well,
I'm going to tell you. Hang on. I'm going to tell you exactly why I'm asking this question, because I feel like you're just trying to make excuses for your behavior, and you're falling back on, well, I'm angry because people are dying, because that's the appropriate thing to say these days if you're angry about something. When you have a history of this predating the pandemic.
Well, yes, and if you look at if you looked at all my tweets, you would not see that anger for 95% of the tweets.
I don't follow you. I see what you send to me.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
So what makes that okay?
Okay, so if you're talking about to you,
yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Like I said, it's in all fairness, obviously, it's not okay towards you. But since my anger mostly doesn't. However, I do think you're incredibly disingenuous with your mostly partisanship. And I'd have to look at the individual tweets, which, like I said, I was going to prepare. I started, and then I realized, wait, I have no idea how the stream's going to go, what topics. So I just showed up with Revel Stoke. So that's why when we first said it, I'm like, hey, is there actually going to be debate with a topic? And when he said no, it's like, okay, what is, I figured it was going to be more of a psychological analysis of me, which most people are not good at psychoanalyzing themselves. I'm saying a couple things that might affect me. I'm saying the first thing that really got to me from you was your viewpoint on Medicare fall and how you had you're very callous regarding to the tens of millions of people.
Nope,
because they would not be covered
right there. Virgil, thank you. Anyone else getting mundane Matt vibes here? Stop. You earlier in the show that was it I didn't go after Trump.
Oh yes, that's when I realized that your 2016 coverage of the election, and I noticed that with other streamers as well. So other streamers that I thought were
so you're just making shit up. This is what I was talking about. It just seems like you are trying to make excuses to make yourself seem better. Caramon, thank you. Sticking to your beliefs is not partisanship. Ding, ding.
No, I thought you were more like the South Park guys, where you go after anyone who is doing shit wrong. And when you look at yours,
do go after anyone who's doing shit
mostly,
wrong if I know it.
More you write Adam Schiff, who fucking like is one of the lamest people with no words to do anything. And
The head of the Intelligence Committee in the House. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
The head of the Intelligence Committee in the House is powerless.
No, it's incompetence. There's a difference.
What?
Like,
no. Back up. You said he has no power. He is the head of the Intelligence Committee.
Doesn't wield.
You don't think
power.
that's a powerful position?
If you know what you're doing, yes, it can be very powerful.
This is kind of winding down. So
whether you know what you're doing or not, there's power in that position.
I still
fine.
need to eat too, and I might as well just end it now. Thank you everyone who commented on the stream.
And he's not going to do anything that
I'm sorry for my lack of reactions.
Because he does not think for himself.
I actually didn't think I'd have such a difficult time to react.
Great.
Keister.
I find your internet attacks hilarious.
Oh, you're still listening, Zabla?
People are ridiculous, but I don't after Fox News, and they are fucking.
Here's keep streaming. I don't read Fox News. I'll catch you whenever the next stream.
What people are digesting and what things are.
I'll be on Keep Stream too. And
it's not your job. It's just if you're intellectually honest. If you're intellectually honest, it's